Hi everyone, good morning, and thank you, Donna. I just wanted to start by thanking the OHA. I think it was a little bit over a year ago that Vanya and I went to the OHA because as the Toronto Central is the lead on this initiative and asked for support and participation. And we got an immediate response, immediate support, and the outcome of that initiative is today. So I just wanted to start by thanking the OHA for their ongoing support and their initial response to us, which has been good. I always find this helpful and sometimes distracting, but mostly helpful in sometimes grounding a discussion in a personal story. So I'll just start with one. I had an uncle who was in his late 70s, 80s, lived in an apartment in the same building as his son. So they shopped together, did laundry together, but he did his own meals, his own cooking, cleaning, totally independent. He would walk the stairs. He was on the 5th floor of the apartment, and he would do the stairs twice a day, 2 trips as exercise. Unfortunately, he fell one day and hit his head and was then admitted to a hospital. Within a week, he could hardly get out of bed, hardly move, because he was placed in a diaper, he never got up, never got out, and in 2 weeks, we just saw this person, the head wound got addressed, but we saw this person just in 3 weeks required long-term care. And we then said this made no sense to us. We started as a family beginning to get him up each time we went, and somebody visited him every day. And so for me, that always just signaled, why weren't we part of the care? Why weren't we encouraged to get him up and take him for coffee when we went? How come that never happened? And then just to watch the deterioration. So that's kind of a backdrop of a first-hand experience of what happened to seniors. So as many of you are aware, the recent provincial report, Senior-Friendly Hospital Care across Ontario, identified the tremendous opportunities that exist within hospital to provide quality of care to seniors. All healthcare providers have a part to play in making sure seniors receive appropriate care at the right time and in the right setting. I would add to that, family and friends also have a role to play in that. From experience, however, once someone is in hospital, family and friends seem to acquiesce to the leadership of the hospital, and so they don't do what they would probably even do at home. And I think there are opportunities there to engage family and friends and visitors in the care of seniors. The Toronto Central LHIN's Aging at Home Steering Committee was made up of a cross-section of organizations, elder care experts, and seniors recommended, and they recommended to the Toronto Central LHIN to make senior-friendly hospital a priority. I just said to Jocelyn a minute, who knew 2-3 years ago when we had that Seniors Advisory Committee, and they came up with the recommendation that we'd be here today. So kudos to that advisory group. They recognize the importance of community services and primary care to the health and independence of seniors. Just as important, seniors' experiences in hospital can have a lasting effect on the life of that senior and also a lasting effect on healthcare system as a whole. The senior-friendly hospital strategy is a critical piece of the puzzle for us to have a healthier seniors population, but also a healthy health service delivery system. The senior-friendly hospital strategy began, as I said, in 2010, with all acute, rehab, and complex continuing care hospitals taking a self-assessment of their practices and policies related to seniors. We then turned to Dr. Barbara Liu and the team at the Regional Geriatric Program to lead this work. Many of you know Dr. Liu as a tireless advocate and authority in seniors care in Ontario. So that was 2010, the Toronto experience. Last year, all 14 LHINs agreed that the senior-friendly hospital strategy would become a provincial priority. All adult hospitals participated in a report on the current state of senior-friendly hospitals in the province. I just heard coming down the cab that this is going to be presented in Paris, but nobody asked me to go to Paris. So I'm having a little bit of problem with that. But congratulations to our regional geriatric program. But that signals the importance of this initiative, that internationally folks are looking at us and the work that's happening here in this province as leadership. So I think we should all embrace and really feel good about this work, that we are taking a leadership role in some of these initiatives. We often feel that we're always behind in everything to do with healthcare and seniors care. It's not quite true, so it's good to celebrate where we're not. Hospitals have told us that one of the benefits of the self-assessment was that it shone a light on the seniors care throughout their organization. Seniors care became part of the hospital quality improvement agenda as hospital worked on their quality improvement plan under the Excellent Care for All Act. 155 hospitals in Ontario completed the senior-friendly self-assessment. This is an incredible level of commitment and enough critical mass to make long-lasting shift in hospital processes and policies. Now the LHINs are supporting the implementation of key recommendations from this provincial report. With the support of the provincial working group, the Regional Geriatric Program of Toronto and Baycrest, the senior-friendly hospital, has created the promising practice tool, and this will be available in the upcoming weeks. This toolkit will be a key resource to share knowledge and evidence about strategies that work. You will be able to find this toolkit at seniorfriendlyhospitals.ca, and I'm sure Barbara will provide more information on that as we go forward. As well, the provincial working group has identified a set of indicators for two priorities, and that is delirium and functional decline. So we're looking at hospitals, there could be 1 million indicators. The provincial group have identified 2, and those are the 2 that will be monitored and worked through across all lanes and provincially as we go forward. This will allow us to track and make continual headway in these critical metrics for seniors' health. Senior-friendly hospital is key to the health of our entire system. It's no secret. Ontario's population is growing older. This slide, I think, says it all. I happen to be at the front end of the baby boomer curve. So when I was in CCAC, I said I had a commitment that they were going to get it right because they don't want me as a patient. And now for me, the same thing is happening. So I figure I turn 65 this year. Please do everything to keep me out because I am just a signal of what the baby boomers are going to be like. We're demanding, privileged, spoiled, and we're going to change the system, and I don't think it will be easy. So I think now is our opportunity to make that change. So I'm just declaring my vested interest. This aging demographic has serious implications for patients, families, and implications for hospitals and the entire system. Seniors are 3 times more likely to be hospitalized. Seniors make up 60% of all hospital stays. When looking at ALC length of stay, seniors make up 83%. As you will hear from Dr. Liu, the evidence backs up what you know firsthand, and I think everybody in this room knows firsthand. Seniors' health decline the longer they stay in hospital. And so what are we going to do to change that? And what are we going to do to improve their care and keep them active and mobile while in hospital? Instead of returning to their homes or community, these seniors end up losing their ability to walk, which in turn increases their length of stay, increases their chance of requiring post-acute care to regain their functioning, and ultimately increase their chance of needing long-term care. This is not good for their health and certainly not good for us collectively. We know there are some basic changes that can be made to the hospital environment and care processes that can prevent seniors from decompensating. By enlisting family members and caregivers, patient can make all the difference in their recovery. And I'm not suggesting that the hospital do not have an active role in providing activation. I'm just saying it can be complemented and supported by family and caregivers. In January, the government released the province's action plan for healthcare. The plan includes a senior strategy focused on keeping seniors healthy and at home longer. It calls for a continuum of care in the community so that there are more options outside the hospitals and long-term care for seniors. The plan also addresses the 1% of the population with the highest and most complex needs that account for 34% of health spending. By providing these patients with appropriate services in the most appropriate setting, we can improve their outcomes and lessen the strain on healthcare resources. The action plan also speaks about the need to prevent at-risk populations from becoming seriously ill or injured. These proactive and preventive strategies target the 10% of patients who account for 80% of health resources. My personal pet peeve is that these patients on admission or even prior to admission should be identified first by primary care while they're at home and managed to stay there. Secondly, some will come to emerge. It's the nature of aging and illness. How do we identify those people and emerge, make sure they go home with appropriate community care? And if they have to be admitted, how do we identify them early on in the admission so that good care planning can begin, not after they're declared ALC? So those are just my rant. I think no patient should ever be identified ALC in Ontario unless they have been seen by the CCAC, assessed, and a plan is not possible. And I think until every single hospital arrive at that point, we will continue to have some of these issues. And that's practice change at all levels of the organization. And we're seeing evidence of that change in certain hospitals like Sinai. The Drummond report echoes the need to prioritize these groups in every part of the health system. And when money is tight, the greater the imperative to get people out of hospital, into the community and functioning on their own. In fact, as you're well aware, the recent budget highlighted this need. The budget called for enhanced community-based care to treat patients in alternate settings, like like clinics, home, instead of hospitals. So, the budget imperative, I think, was forcing us to do the right thing. The senior-friendly strategy is about preventing seniors' functioning decline. And hospitals just need to embrace this and can safely make sure people can safely transition to the next level of care. The government just announced the move to patient-based funding. An increasing proportion of hospital funding will be based on patient needs, quality, and outcomes. I would suggest that we begin to pay attention to this shift in funding from just straight global funding. It's important, it will make a difference, and it will make a difference over time. Funding will follow the patient, and people will benefit from smoother transition and better experience overall. Senior-friendly hospital is a win for the patients and their families. It's a win for the healthcare professionals, and it's a win for hospitals. A number of hospitals are emerging as leaders, and I'll just a few examples. The Move On, which is short for Mobilization of Vulnerable Elders in Ontario, developed at Sunnybrook Health Sciences Centre, and St. Michael's promote early mobilization to prevent future decline in older patients admitted to hospital. The patient care bundle approach at Toronto East General is structured to meet the 4 Ps: patient care, positioning, personal needs, including assistance to the bathroom, assessment of pain, and placement of personal items within reach. That's just 2 examples of what is beginning to happen in hospitals, and I had mentioned earlier Mount Sinai, and this is just not to give a list of all, but some examples of what's happening, and I think that is great. So collectively, hospitals, LHINs, health service providers, we have a job to do to improve the patient experience, the quality of care to seniors, or parents, or uncles, or aunts, or friends. I think that's who these folks are, that's what we need to do, and as I said, we need to do it for us, And we need to do it now, because I look around the room, there are not too many of me in the room, but we will be your worst nightmare, and we don't want that to happen. So thank you very much.